11.
Question number 11.
Question number 13.
Yeah, let me
Question number 13. 11, 13 and 14.
Okay. 11, 13. This one, right?
Yeah.
The project has a budget of $240,000 and duration is 1 year. Work and budget is spread evenly across all months. The project is now at the end of 4th month and is on schedule. However, spending for this project is 100,000 as of now. What will be the variance at completion? So it is asking for EAC. So I think the calculation is given in the answer, but do you have you any problem in understanding the answer? '21 and 23rd, okay. Not 11. The cost performance index of a project is 0.75. It means, since CPI, what is CPI? CPI is a cost performance index. It means your return on investment. That means what kind of money you are investing and what returns you are getting in terms of money. So if CPI is 0.75, it means on every dollar invested, you get only 75 cents worth of work done. That is CPI, right? EV upon AC. So what is EV? EV is value of the earned work, work which is completed, not value of the work completed. Planned value of the work completed. And AC is actual. So what is on the top? Top is the price of the work completed. So we invested AC, because AC is actual expense. So the denominator is actual investment and the numerator is return on the investment, because that is the cost of the value of the work completed. That is what is returned, what is achieved. So what we have achieved, it is saying CPI is 0.75. That means we invested $1 and we get the work done of 75 cents worth only. That is actually CPI.
I marked it B, option B.
That will be right in case of SPI.
Of land. Okay.
If it is SPI, then the P is right. You say 20.
I got confusion.
Yeah. But there is a confusion because we are not we are not understanding that what this is everything. The earned value, the only challenge to understand is everything to be translated in the cost. Here everything is translated into dollars, and then we compare things. So whatever we have got, whatever we have invested, whatever we have done, everything what we do is we find the equivalent dollars and then try to understand. In case of SPI, it is the progress.
Yeah.
In terms of cost, it is the investment, return on investment.
Got it.
Okay, this is the task was scheduled to use two full-time resources and estimated to take 2 weeks to complete. At the time of at the start of the task, the one resource got sick, so only one resource out of two could work on this task. At the end of 2 weeks, the assigned resource completed 75% of the task. What is the CPI of the work? Okay. This is like that. Are you getting me? Hello? Hello? Okay. You're able to get me, right? Yeah. So what is happening here is something like this. See, there are two people, 2 weeks. Give me a moment. Okay, look at this. 2 weeks of work, 2 people here, 2 people here. Right? Now, what happened? What is the planned value? To 4%. Right? This PV. Now, at the start of the work, only one person is able to work, other person got sick. He worked for 2 weeks. So 2 person week is the actual cost. And how much we achieved? 75%. So 75% of PV is 3 weeks. 3% week is EV. Right? So CPI is 3 upon 2 is equal to 1.5. Right?
Right.
Any other question related to cost? Ajay, you have?
Question number 24.
24.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are the project manager of a highly visibility project. The margin on this project is low. It is important that the cost estimates for the work on the projects be accurate, and it should be executed with tight monitoring to prevent any cost overrun. You are reviewing the cost estimate received from the team, and you notice that the cost estimate for one of the work package in the WBS is 10% higher than what was in previous 2 projects for very similar work. What should you do first? See, in this, there are some ground rules, and which I keep repeating every time. We should remember that whenever we got something which is unexpected, we need to investigate why this is unexpected. So the first approach in such cases to demand for more information so that you really understand why it is happening. Once you have information, you analyze it and then take action. So if you look at this these options, accept the estimate because you trust all of your team members and they are responsible for estimates. That may not be true because there is something which some surprising element here. So on the trust things do not work, right? On the at least at the time when you have got some surprises. Second thing, reduce the estimate but add this additional cost to the management reserve. Now this is an action. So if you do it first, it means you are analyzing later. First you are taking action. That's not that is not right thing. Ask the person responsible for the estimate to explain the difference and provide supporting information. That means you are seeking more information and trying to see what is the rationale for this unexpected element or unexpected information. Reduce the estimate by 10%. That is also an action. So if you see A, B, C, D, the C is the thing which is actually seeking more information and trying to understand what could be the problem. So that is the first thing to be done.
Okay.
Then you analyze it. And then third is you take action. So B and D, which are action oriented, need to be the third person. The second step is not given. The A will not work. See, there are 2 things we always remember, that the trust and the process, they can go together without interfering in each other's matter. So trust does not mean you avoid the process. The process has to be followed, the process whatever you have defined, but because you trust, you skip some of the process. That's not a good idea. Okay, because I trust you, I made you a project manager. Because I trust you, I never going to review your work.
Yeah.
Reviewing the work is a process I need to do as a ritual, as a part of the game, and because this project needs some review from the other people. Wow. Whatever you trust, it is there, but it is not the reason for avoiding the processes. Any other one?
Question number 26.
The following table shows performance of a project over last 5 months. If the project continues with the current rate, what forecast will you give about project completion based on this data? This is fairly simple actually. See, this is TCPI, to complete cost performance index. That is asking run rate. In terms of cricket, it is asking run rate. What is saying? Current run rate. Current rate. What is current rate? Current TCPI is this. Okay. So suppose the team which is following the score have better run rate or less asking run rate than its opponent. What do you think? They will finish before the 50 overs or 20 overs, or they will finish after that? If it is less asking run rate, they will finish early.
Before.
It does not matter
Correct.
what was the asking run rate in previous over. It does not matter what was the asking run rate in previous to previous over. The only thing which matters is what is the asking run rate in this over, which is just finished. So rest of the data is irrelevant basically.
Okay.
Only thing which is useful is here is this, because 2 TCPI is less than 1, project will finish in less than budgeted cost. If it is 1, it will be on cost. It will be greater than 1, it will be more than the estimated cost.
Budgeted cost.
Yeah, budgeted cost.
Okay.
Rest of the data has no meaning.
Just to make confusion.
Just to provide you a simple data. Actually, see, it is a data available.
Data.
So if you see in the project situation, this is what will be available to you.
Okay.
You have to filter out the relevant information.
Yes.
So same thing is here. They have provided the data as of now. Now you filter out the relevant information.
Yeah.
Any other one?
No.
Okay. Any other topic?
No. I think cost management itself gave me a lot of trouble.
Most challenging.
I got only 14 correct answers.
Last question. Last question.
Last question.
Yeah.
Look at this. Okay. Your project is $120,000 and scheduled to complete in 12 weeks. You are preparing status after 4 months of the execution. As of now, you have spent $30,000 of your budget to complete the work that you originally estimated to cost $35,000. Based on this data, your project status is, see, the project is $120,000 for 12 weeks. If it is equally spread, nothing is given, it means you assume equally spread.
Sorry?
If it is nothing is given, it means it is equally spread.
Okay.
So what you do? You take 10,000 every week.
No, this is weeks. I
Yeah,
think
weeks,
that
I'm
there is a
doing
typing
10,000
mistake
every
or what, I don't know. Or maybe it was correct. Is it 12 weeks or 12 months?
Okay, okay. I think this is a typo here.
That is months.
Okay.
My answer was correct because I considered it for month.
Okay, no, this is the correction.
That is going to be more budget and very tremendous expense.
No, this is a typo. Thanks for highlighting it.
Yeah.
Let me list.
12 months, then that's fine.
No,
That's
but
what
let
I
me
calculate.
correct.
My answer was correct.
Let me note it down.
So if it is 12 weeks, then answer B is right?
Over by so that is
No, behind schedule. Over budget and behind schedule. If
Yeah,
it is
that
weeks,
is
Behind
it
schedule,
will
sorry, D.
be over. It will be over budget, or we can say it is over budget. So measuring factor is very different.
okay. So that's the typo actually. Any other?
That's it. Very normal.
So we move to our agenda for today.
Yeah.
Okay. You have given exercises also. Let me open that risk register and check what.
I think for me, actually what happened, this week it was overloaded for my work also. So, and then plus there were 6 quizzes and 3 case studies. It was something very tough for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I could make.
But still you have done reasonably good, right?
I found it something which was, I found it was interesting, which I noted down.
You are the person who worked very good in this class.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Right? So you accumulate lot of work all the time. That you work more efficiently every time. Okay, so let's discuss about the case study. What was the case study?
Yeah, case study was for one bank, UPC, and that was for they were having a core banking software, and the core banking software was not doing well. So for that reason, they decided to change it. So FinCore, they termed that project as a FinCore, and that FinCore was given to Excel because Excel Infotech was very closely associated with them. And that's what the Excel took it up, in which the delivery head Ashwin Khanna was appointed. He appointed Vinod Kumar as a project manager, and then later on, project manager was quite confident on his team strengths and everything. But Monica was there; she was technical lead, and she had performed very well. She had very good technical skills. So he was 100% relying on Monica. Or maybe he took it, and there was an assumption he considered it, that she will do it, and then he had all stakeholders meeting, and immediately they started. So after a certain time period, when these guys, they wanted to revisit all these developments and whatever they want to do, they have done. when they compared, they found there were tremendous bugs. But still, Vinod was quite confident. And when he tried to get in touch with Kevin is a guy who was
Client. He was a client.
client's side. He was coordinating with this project manager, and he also, kept it lingering. He said that couple of weeks, and he also delayed because of his own priorities. So he delayed to attend the reviews and all other stuff. So finally, end of the project deadline, at the time they found that everything is after that, everything is above. And then he started questioning or maybe asking Monica to answer all these things. That time Monica resigned. And then again, Vinod was helpless and he found himself at nowhere. So project went very bad. This is the entire case. This is what I understand.
Yeah, I think you summarized very well. As per understanding, what went well in this project?
See, the major things were, number one, their approach was totally wrong. Because in core banking, they did not have, they were technical guys, the people were technical, but this project for core banking was new for them. They did not understand the proper things. That's what I think here. Number one, it started from there.
But Ajay, where it is mentioned that they don't understand core banking. They are working with this client for a couple of years.
Yeah, they are working with client, but not for this product.
But there is nowhere it is mentioned that they do not have capability.
Yeah, because core banking only one time it is installed.
Yeah, but in the here it is mentioned that they have a challenge with the understanding the core banking functionality.
So what is happening now? The CDS which is right now running is not performing. So now what they are trying to do is they are trying to revamp the CDS. They are trying to have another CDS. So changing of CDS from one platform to another.
Can you mute yourself?
Because they have not done it before.
Yeah, let it continue. Oh, from Ajay is echoing actually.
Yeah. So what I think that number one issue was, this Ashwin never came in picture.
My question is different. We will come to issues little later. I wanted to ask you what went well in this project.
No, the problem is, I tell you what.
No, I didn't understand question.
My question is what went well in this project?
What went well?
Yes.
Okay. What went well? Fine.
You can take a moment to think over if you have not thought on this. Anybody has already thought of can highlight.
Developing a team very well of well.
No, here the well part was first of all the communication in between Monica, Vinod, HR, admin, and all other support group were handling the plan properly. And that's what it was quickly build a good rapport with the plan project manager Kevin. That is the reason. It means that the internal communication with Kevin was very fine.
Communication was good, you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
The communication was not there.
No. Overall, see, if you see that 1, 2, 3.
Because
Third
Vinod
para last
was
line.
not communicating with Monica. Monica
third para
and Vinod was, in turn, Ashwin had no communication with the team even, right?
No. The third line which says that.
Okay. See, we will not discuss like that. you tell your points that what went well in this. We'll go with one by one with everyone. And we'll calculate here.
Okay.
What else went well as per your understanding?
The rapport between between Monica and Vinod, because they had worked previously between them.
Rapport between?
Monica and Vinod, because they had previously worked with each other in the same in different projects.
That was already there actually before the project. That was the reason to bring Monica on this project.
Correct. So that.
You say that was good.
Hello.
Bhagesh, just give me a moment. Let's finish with the learning. Yes, Lalit, continue.
What I was trying to say, we were trying to see what went well in my mind, because Monica and Vinod had been working in previous projects, so they had the same wavelength of working. So it was it would have been an asset for them to work, because they already had worked together previously.
Yeah, so they worked together. They were on the project, so their harmony continued actually.
Yeah, that's what. Right.
So relation between Monica and Vinod, right?
Vinod.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other thing? Okay. You think over till the time. Let's Bhagesh. He wanted to say something.
My observation in this case study is that the positive thing is that the identification of team members was very spontaneous. Who will work what and how, because they were
That's a negative thing,
working
Bhagesh.
together since now.
It's a negative thing. We are talking about what went well in this project first.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, one thing which I wanted to highlight here. When it comes to think positive about a project, almost go silent.
Let tell you one thing.
Sorry?
Should I tell you one thing?
Yeah, even telling one thing is a problem. It's too much difficult. To talk about something which have happened, the project has happened without any good thing. You can't reach to that area. I understand there was problem.
Project launching was good.
Launching was good. Beginning was good.
Beginning was good.
Okay.
Issues were also identified in early days, and they were confident to resolve it.
Don't you think team got assembled very fast without any problem? This is one of the major problems in most of the projects. You wanted somebody on the project and that person is available. There is no issues in assembling the team. And the people are capable. There is no issue anywhere which is mentioned in the case study that there was any problem with the skill of the people. I mean to say technical skill.
So results tells that there were bugs and they could not fix it in time.
Yeah, that is the reason they have given. So there were no
confidence was wrong.
Yeah, so if you see, the team was, first of all, team building didn't have any problem, which is normally a problem in the project. Second thing, even the lot of bugs are there. They are pointing towards the data is not available or situation in the project, but no problem is indicating that there were technical skills issues. These, see, what I normally suggest that there are case study normally given a limited information. You can, if we have given full information, you cannot release it. So normally limited information available, and we should not assume anything away from that limited information.
True.
We should only assume what is given or what indications are given in the case study. We should not assume anything which is not being indicated by case study.
Correct.
So until unless there are facts in the case study which are indicating the issues and technical skills, we should not assume it. The fact does not necessarily mean it is coming out from the technical skills. Until unless some facts are actually mentioning this, that there are issues because of the technical skills. So if you see, the first struggle in a project is to build the team. You don't get the qualified people. Here you got Ashwini Kumar got Vinod as a fantastic person, and then we wanted him to be on this because he did the last project quite well, and Vinod wanted Monica on the project. So that is also available, and there is nowhere it is mentioned that there was any problem in building the team. Isn't it well?
Right.
Until unless somebody says there is a problem, I don't consider there is a problem. Maybe team building was good. Actually, the problem with us, most of us, we are too bothered about negative things and too less bothered about positive things. Until unless something negative happens, we don't even bother about that. We think everything is good and everything is going well. It's natural. There is nothing. Everything is smooth is not good. So because of that, we often skip this. Any other thing which you think that something got positive in this? Okay, let's switch to what are the negative things. I think we have plenty. Yes, Ajay.
Yeah, negative things if you talk about, then number one, I think that this group or maybe the entire things what they wanted to design, migrate from existing core banking to new core banking was not properly understood. So I think their approach in terms of first knowledge management or maybe internal discussions, interviewing, meetings, that did not happen regularly. So that is the reason the bugs they keep on accumulating, and finally they ended up with the somewhere else.
You mean to say functional understanding was not?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have anything in the mentioned? Can you highlight some of the mentioned in the case study that this is supporting this argument?
Okay.
Defects, number of defects.
Yeah, number of defects. The starting of the project went quite smooth, and then it kept on accumulating small bugs. Then still, I mean, that time he was confident that these kind of bugs will be taken care of, and he will again cover it up. But was not. But there were some minor points highlighted by Kevin about the features and delays in achieving. So immediately that time, he should have taken those things very seriously and corrected it, and could have been the different scene altogether.
Okay, so what was the problem?
So Vinod's understanding, team's understanding.
Milestones got delayed actually.
So
I say, see, when we assess anything, we should always point to the facts which are mentioned. We should stay away from our perception.
Okay.
In project also, we see that we should always highlight the facts which is mentioned, or which we can say that this has happened. We have a data on that. So you can say that milestones were delayed. But as you don't know, nothing is mentioned in the case study that why the milestones were delayed. Let's not go into why, but say milestones were delayed. That was negative thing.
Okay.
Right? You are highlighting this, right? This milestones were delayed actually. And the reason, this is not major thing. It was a perception of the project manager that it's not major. What more? Others?
There was no monitoring and data sharing at all happening.
Sorry, Lalit, can you go a little slowly?
There was no monitoring and data sharing happening at all.
There was no monitoring on data sharing.
That's it. Because Vinod did not know what Monica is doing, because he kept everything up to Monica. Whatever she was doing, but Vinod was not keeping himself abreast what she is doing, and he never to tell Ashwin also, who was the delivery head, what is happening till the things were at problematic.
So proper monitoring was not happening.
Not happening.
Okay. Was they were having a good plan?
See, I have my doubts. I take a cue from you, because we should not talk on perceptions. But I have a thing going in my mind is, first of all, the project was all about changing the core banking solution of a bank. So that means they had to migrate from one platform to another platform. Right. Now I don't know how much expertise they had in doing it, because it's a huge exercise. So how much experience they had in doing that? So that is my I have my own doubts on that.
But Lalit, I have a simple ground rule. Something which is not mentioned in the case study, don't bother about that.
I agree. That's why I said I took a cue from you. Please don't have any perceptions. I agree with you.
So I agree with you that monitoring was not happening properly, because you say that the Vinod was not abreast what is happening in the project.
That's right.
So my question was planning good?
Yeah, I'll tell this. Vinod was a very bad project manager. Because last line is itself.
Ajay, that is also a perception. I say that is your perception. Now perception is made up on some facts. And what I am asking you to bring out those facts. So you have understood some facts. The problem is here is to narrate those facts here.
No. It is not perception. Last line, extreme last line, it says, revisiting the project in the flashback, was just wondering what went wrong that made him to land this situation. He himself did not understand, means he is a bad project manager.
Yeah, so see, in the life, you, me, or everyone, sometime we mess up something, right? It does not make us bad. We have made some mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes.
We have to derive some meaning also.
Yeah, we have to drive. So that's what I'm saying. We have to bring out those facts. The flashback, we have to bring out the fact that what is that flashback which is going to land into this such as
Backup plan was also not there for Monica.
there was no
There
backup
was no
plan.
any delegate.
There was no backup plan. Okay. So that's why my thing is you bring out the facts actually, which is tangible, which is written in the case system.
Another thing I would like to mention here is that the test data which was required for testing the software, but Mr. Kevin provided half data. So at the point of contract, I think it was not clear that with half data, the project would not test properly, and then by engaging
Say it again, Vagesh. We couldn't get it.
their own staff, they have to create a sample for this, sending the customer requirements.
Right. So what is the problem? What was the problem? The actual data was not available.
Yes.
So actual data was not available, and that was one of the issue actually highlighted because of the reason. When Monica is explaining the reason for defect, she highlighted that data was not available. That's why we couldn't check those things.
Yes.
So how they handled it? They were knowing it well in advance.
Yes.
How they handled it?
Offshore team, Vinod agreed to Mr. Kevin that offshore team would prepare the test data as much as possible, which they can use and certify the software.
And that didn't work.
And that didn't work. It created a problem.
So it was not a very good plan. A very good risk.
Not very good.
I say.
Yes.
Or if I say they didn't identify this risk as a risk.
Yes, we can say like that. They couldn't recognize that this is a risk, developing data for customer, which they may don't have, even competency to prepare a data. So that was a risk for.
Now tell me, how many people you agree that nobody can produce actual data? The kind of variety you will get in the actual data, can team produce it?
No.
Nobody can produce actually.
No.
No, nobody can produce it. That was the biggest risk.
Maximum what we can do is that we can have a mock data, that's it. We can,
So you can
have a mock
But it
data.
will not cover all the,
It cannot be as good as the actual
It
data.
will never cover. It will never cover all variety.
Right. So risk management was on stick or was not so good.
Not so good, yes. We
What else?
can say like that.
What else?
I think all stakeholders' involvement was very, they work on assumptions. Like
Stakeholder?
Stakeholders had their own priorities. Their involvement was less.
Right. So they were. If you say this, then we will run out, we will see that the first thing which we noted down, and that was actually communication. So it was not a good communication. If the stakeholders not engaged, means the
I'll tell you. No, the communication in the sense, and Kevin's communication might be proper, but the overall involvement of every stakeholder was not good, because there might be communication between Vinod and Kevin, but this Mr. Ashwin Khanna, he never came in picture. He was first delivery head, and then after his involvement was not anywhere. Then the issues which were expected to highlight to Kevin also delayed it for 2 weeks, and that led to somewhere else. Then Vinod was also trying to convince him for the delay.
So stakeholder engagement was one of them.
Yeah. If their degree of engagement would have increased, then definitely the monitoring and close monitoring would have been better.
Right. So was low.
Also,
about
their plan
reporting?
related to quality was not up to the mark.
The quality was not up to the mark, right? In
Yes.
fact, that was the biggest problem.
Yes. And having been known all the problems, they didn't, respond because they never planned it. What would be the issues related to the
Prakash, your
living they can, but he took it the situation hours or worse. So quality planning was also not very good for this project.
but tell me, overall planning was good or not?
No, overall planning also was not good.
So planning was not good.
It was shabby. No, it was shabby.
Sorry? What about reporting? Was reporting happening properly?
Reporting was not happening.
What is written there, that report was provided whenever asked?
Not custom.
Correct? That's the sentence there.
Yeah.
Reporting was provided, reports were provided, well formatted reports
Yes.
are provided, but only when they were asked. Who was the most important stakeholder in this project? Who was the most important stakeholder
Kevin.
on this project? Kevin? Okay. You say Kevin. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Monica also.
Monica?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Suppose somebody replaces somebody else, some other project managers come and replaces the Kevin. How it is going to impact the project?
if Kevin is replaced by some other manager,
Project manager.
definitely will have.
You say what is the degree of impact on the project?
High level.
How much? Very high impact. What impact will be that?
It should be 25% you can assume.
So what is the impact? Tell me the impact. When you say very high is it comparative time? What is the impact? You give us some tangible items.
I think 25%.
Okay, this is a perception, but some tangible things. These things will impact because of Kevin getting changed or somebody else replacing Kevin. ABC will change. ABC will have impact.
The inputs which the Monica and Vinod need, they may not be getting it, Kevin is replaced because if the Kevin is not the proper handover.
Yeah, continue, Lalit.
Sir, what I was trying to say is that the inputs which Kevin has to give to Monica and Vinod, if Kevin is changed, it may not happen properly because it depends on the if proper handover is being done by Kevin to the person who comes.
So input will get impacted. Somebody else will also give impact, may not input, but may not be that good as the Kevin.
Of course, it may positive or negative both. Yeah.
Any other impact?
The rapport which Kevin has with Monica and Vinod, the next person has to build again. We may take some time.
Okay. Now repo will take time. Okay. Repo may also get impact. Okay. Okay. Bhagesh, you are saying that project has to end up abruptly. We are not saying Kevin is going. Project manager is absent. We are telling somebody replacing Kevin. Why it will end the project? During project, do project manager do not change or do not get changed? No, see, Bhagesh, try to understand what we are saying. During this time, Kevin, maybe there is some assignment client has got for Kevin. So they put the Kevin on the other project and take another project manager and put on this project. Okay. Now tell me what is the impact? How the project will get will abruptly stop? There is another project manager who is taking care of it, right? Communication may get impacted. As we said, inputs will get impacted. Rapport will get impacted. I agree. But I don't understand why the project will close.
The project won't get closed, it will go, and the next person who is coming will take some time to settle in also. So that is another.
Yeah, so some communication gaps can happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Now tell me one thing. If somebody else replaces Monica, what is the impact?
The impact will be positive because Monica is not updating anything. She is doing the things on her way. Maybe the next person, but we don't know if she is, better than Monica or not. But she has to be better than Monica only. The next person.
Okay, so there will be no significant impact.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay, so then what is the problem in the project? She's going, let her go, and then other person can
come. What I was trying to say, what I was trying to say, if somebody else comes in place of Monica, we don't know whether he or she will be better than Monica or not, but she has to be better than Monica only because Monica was not doing the job properly.
Monica was not doing job properly. Is this what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, because she was not reporting to Vinod. Maybe Vinod was not asking reporting from her, or she was not, but things are not happening also.
Okay, let me understand from the other people, Ajay and Bhagesh. Do you also understand that Monica was not doing anything, or not doing any his work properly, or work properly?
No, I guess she was working fine.
Monica was doing good.
No, I guess she was working fine.
In fact, she is the
Technically,
she's leading the project.
exactly.
She has work experience also, good technical expertise, and she has got good technical competency.
In fact, Vinod is worrying. The most worriness is that she has tendered her resignation. That is his biggest worry right now, because she was leading the project. Right? So who is the more important stakeholder on this project? If I compare between Kevin and Monica, who is the more important stakeholder?
I guess Monica.
Monica, of course.
You know, that is what I am trying to highlight here. Many times, people working under us as a team member, we do not even consider them as a stakeholder, while they could be the most important one.
Of course.
I tell you one incident that I got a project manager, talking to a project manager, and he was little little sad and means not happy at that time. I said, what happened? Your project is Ajay, just keep yourself muted till when you are speaking, because there is a lot of echo comes from your mic.
I will mute.
Yeah. So when I ask you what is the problem, you are not like this. There is. It looks like you are not feeling well, and then is the project going well or not? You know, Vivek, the project is now when people have to deliver, they actually look at the clock. I say, yeah, this is almost 6 months now in the project. You will be about to deliver the things, but that is what it is. Right now, I need from our lead developers to deliver at that time. When I am sitting at 8 o'clock, they look at clock that when they have to go home. Why they not feel about the same thing like me? That this project is not in good shape, we have to deliver in some time, and it's not, things are not ready. That kind of commitment I am not seeing. You say, okay, so what you want from your lead? So the same thing, that he should understand that we are not in good shape and should commit more time and should, what I feel, the same should he feels. I say it's absolutely right that the team should see, and the lead should at least take the responsibility of delivering it. But tell you one thing, for 6 months you are in the project. You think that this person is one of the important person, and if he doesn't give so much of commitment, we'll be facing like a problem in delivering the project. Did you ever thought of what this person's want? What you have done in last 6 months to keep this person happy, if this person is so critical? So, you know, there was no answer. I say, when last 6 months you do not bother about this person and what he wants in the project, or from what his takeaway from the project, what he want to achieve, what are his aspirations. When you are not bothering about him, why should he bother about the things you bother? It's a reciprocating word, right? You do for something for him and that person will do same thing, like do for you, isn't it? If somebody helps us, don't we tend to help the other person? We do. But if somebody is not helping us, do we tend to help him? No. So if we need commitment from the person, we should also be, see, what is commitment? That he should take the responsibility. Right now I am feeling, and I think he should have taken. The reverse side is also right. What he was feeling, that he has to achieve this, he has to achieve this, they have to do this. Project manager should understand it. But we don't understand. Without giving anything, we want take and take. And the most important stakeholder is not even in the list of stakeholder. Look at this. Let's look at this risk management thing. Okay, first of all, I will say, I think this is sent by Lalit. I said you need to work only on top three risks. So that you have forgotten. I say I don't want anything more than 3 risks. Yes, person needs to look after the person who is performing, and that is an asset. You have to identify the stakeholders who are critical and you have to take care of them. Take care doesn't mean you do favors, but you have to take care of you take a team member in the project. You want a lot of things from the person, but person also wants something from you and from the project. Are you working on this, when you are working on a project, are you not looking for anything from the project? Will not add skills to your profile? Will it not add success to your profile? So that everybody has a takeaway, right, from the project. And when the people see there is no takeaway from the project, they get disinterested. And there is no commitment you can get. And that's why my question, I asked earlier that you may be happy taking a person matching the skills or even more capable than having the skills. But you must remember that this person has little takeaway from the project. And therefore, despite having high skill, his interest level will be low. And because the interest level is low, his commitment level will be low. And therefore, you will not be able to utilize the skills of this person because you have very less thing for him to give in the project. You need a hungry person. Hungry person is the person who has less skill than the project demands. So it gives an atmosphere for this person to expand his wings. The person is already feeling suffocated in the project because there is nothing in the project to expand the wings. And that's everybody comes. There is a self-actualization is most important. He says this project has nothing to give me back. I will stay at the same level. It will not help me to grow. And he will be the first person to go away. And that is what the reason I said that when you're talking about 60-40 ratio, I was saying it should be the other way around. But definitely when you go other way around, it will increase your work. But you will get better results because the commitment level of the team will be high. See, when we put any ratio, we always have reasonings. We always have a reason for doing that. But the question comes, the real thing is when you question your reasoning, is my reasoning right? Can I change this reasoning? You feel yourself. Do you want to go into the project which does not give anything more to do? And if you go into such a project, you will be disinterested. You will be looking for some other project where you get something, become more comfortable and help you to grow in the organization. Right? Let's come to this risk. So first of all, this one rule is violated, that there are 9 risks in this. 9 or more? 9. So, and we talk about only top 3 risks. So I don't know which are the top 3. This risk is one of the important one, that over dependence on one person. If you have in your project, you are running on a very thin line, or on the edge of the sword. Interviewing, consultation, experience, executive CBS, I really do not know is there any facts around this. Lack of communication, no involvement of delivery head, could be, but I feel this, do you think it is really that impactful? Lack of subject knowledge, we don't know actually, because there is nothing, no fact mentioned in the project. No, it are not 9 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7. But it's still more than 3. Lack of reporting. Yes, lack of reporting. But how much impact it has? Is it red one? Is over dependence on Monica and lack of reporting have equal weightage? Following laissez-faire style. Actually, it was not laissez-faire style. Laissez-faire style only very highly capable people can do. Means you have to really believe in the person that this person will do and leave the things on him. Here it is more incapability of the Vinod to take charge of the situation. He has left everything. He's not leaving the things. He has left the things. Resource backup plan. It is not there. I think the 9th one and this one is same. Okay, let me open the other one. Scope is ill-defined. I don't know, because there was no facts in the case study which is actually indicating this. Under communication, this is quite possible because later we moved into problem. It means the communication was a problem. Stakeholder disengagement. That also right. Lack of reporting, yes. Resource backup plan, you know, is to keep ready delegates in the absence of Monica or counterpart of her. Actually, why I say top 3, that we should be able to rank our or really assess the impact of the risk and then write only top 3. Otherwise, what we do, we fill our risk register with the regular stuff. See, under communication, lack of reporting, these things are, you see in most of the risk register, you will find it. They are more are execution issue than actually risk. Risk is some kind of thing that you become over dependent on Monica. Now Monica is leave, the project will crash. Because getting a resource of that caliber is a tough job. And then coming up to the speed, you will lose the time. So that's why I said only put top 3. Top 3 actually force us to think about 10 a risk which we have thought of, which one is the biggest one, and then filter only those. And that is actually when you have to abstract, create an abstract of the story, that's a really challenging job. Okay, so this is good actually. You would have created on week basis instead of day basis. Then it would be like little less longer. But this is good. But it is not showing budget. It's showing the timeline. I show you something of that sort. One minute. This is the sheet which I wanted to share with you. See, look at this. Though I can create with Microsoft project also, but I created with this cases, this Excel sheet, because anybody can do it. So if you look, I created with the week wise, and I put all the complete scope here, and then based on this I have provided the line that it is 3 weeks, then after that it is 2 weeks, then it is 1 week, then it is this is going in sequence, this is going in parallel, and this is going in parallel. And then after design is completed, we're going with this. The document manual depend upon this. So as soon as your manual layout is complete, document manual is started, which is 2 weeks in parallel with the design. Right? The red one which you are seeing is actually critical path. Now what I have done, I have put the loading also, that who is the person doing this job. I say one business analyst is doing this job for 3 weeks. So I put BA here and put 1, 1, 1. Same BA here, 1, 1. Now here it is the hardware engineer which is assigned. So 111. Here hardware designer and engineer. So we have two people here. Then hardware engineer 111. Here you see software designer, software engineer. So two people working on it. On this also, two people are working on this. Here if you see perform integration testing, there are three people here. So 3, 3, 3. 1, 1. What I did, I just sum this up on this, and this give me the resource in or out. So initially up to this time one resource, after that 3. So I've created a graph in the downward direction. This is how resource graph looks like. Maximum team is during this time, peak team size. Then below this I created a budget. So what I did, what I have done is here that this is the same thing as this. When I say business analyst, standard rate per hour is this, because here allocation is per week. I calculated this for a week, right? 40 hours. So this into 8 into 5, 8 hours per day in 5 days. And then I have allocated when he is required for this to this date 111. Then hardware engineer from this date to this date, software engineer from this date to this date, technical writer from this date to this date, and this is so. And here is the total week count. And then this multiplied with this, you will see that how much cost are going to incur on business analyst, on hardware engineer, on software engineer, on technical writer. And this also gives me a total budget, the cost of this, then cost of all 3 here, cost of all 3 here, cost of all 5 here, and so every week you see that how much cost is going, and this is showing the cumulative cost. This plus this plus this is this, this plus this is this, this plus this is this, and so it keep increasing, and that is the total cost of the project. This and this into this is a summation, and this. So this Excel sheet for this particular case study give you scope, time and cost completely. Correct? So if you prepare this kind of sheet for your projects, everything from planning to the budgeting is mentioned here. In one sheet, see, less number of documents you keep, better you are. So it's not only contains all the activities of the project, it also contains when they are happening, and they also contain that how my graphically I can see. In fact, I can create a graph for this also. So for simplicity, if I put, I think this, if I put it here and create a chart of this, no, I'm not so good, just I'm trying it. No, to the reverse view. I don't know what is creating. Let me try this. Yeah. You see, this is your S curve. Let me align this. Correct? Now it is aligned. Every point is aligned. This is our BAC. This is our BAC. I can go and add some
Will you
legends.
please explain how to identify critical path on the chart?
For critical path, I think I explained you how we normally calculate it. Here I know this is the longest path is critical path actually.
True. You mentioned.
Yeah, see, if you using some tool like MS Project or something like that, then it will calculate it automatically. Otherwise, you have to create a network diagram of the various nodes and then calculate all the path, like doing a forward pass and doing a backward pass, and then connecting all the activities of the zero float. Then you get the network path. It will be difficult here in Excel. Excel is little tough in doing the project management work. I have done it because everybody can do it. I normally recommend MS Project or any other such scheduler. Scheduler is very changing thing. It is very difficult to manage by through a Excel sheet or other thing. This is your S curve. Right? Okay, so it is around 7:40. Should we take a break and then we start the subject? Procurement. Let's come back by 7:50. So the next subject is procurement management. In this we understand that what are the process which is used to procure things from outside of the organization. Maybe it can be a raw material, it could be a part of our product, a piece of our product, outsourcing, or procuring the raw material, or any other services required for the project. There are 4 processes: plan, conduct, control, and close. Before we go to the processes, let's see what are the common terms in this. There is a seller, which also called as contractor, vendor, supplier, service provider, bidder, etc. There is a buyer, there is a seller, there is a buyer. customer required, acquiring organization, service requester, purchaser. And there is a contract which bind seller and buyer. Seller and buyer are bound by contract, and the contract is a legal agreement, so it can be challenged in the court of law. Normally the process of procuring is like this. It initiates with the make or buy decision. So something which is required for the project, you decide either we have to procure this, or we have to develop this or prepare this inside the organization, or we see that if it need to be procured from outside of the organization. So if you decide to procure from outside the organization, then the whole process starts. So first thing is to create a statement of work which tells that what exactly you want to procure. Then we issue a RFQ, RFI, RFP, request for quotation, request for proposal, request for information, request for bid, anything like that. And once we float, which actually describe, which give information to the vendor that what is being procured, and then it responds. So you get a proposal from the vendor. When you get proposal from the vendor, various vendors, you apply some kind of criteria and try to select one vendor. Maybe you can select more also if there are more services to procure. But here, because we are talking about one thing in the project, we are talking about that you select one seller and then award that contract to the seller, and during the procurement you administer it. So administer means ensuring that the things which are need to be procured, they are being procured as per the specifications. They have that quality. What are the terms and conditions set out in the contract? They are there. So all these to ensuring the compliance with the contract, that is administration. And then once the things are completely procured, we accept it, provide our acceptance to the vendor, and close the procurement process. The first step in this direction is planning the procurement, that is developing a procurement management plan. So idea is that to understand what kind of contracts are there, or they are specified in our organization or specified in the industry, use one of the contract, make, buy, or do a make or buy decision, take a make or buy decision, prepare a procurement management plan, all the process and what we're going to follow, what are tools and techniques and the terms and conditions what we're going to follow need to be mentioned here. Prepare a procurement management plan, prepare the procurement document, that is the bid, RFI, RFP, prepare a source selection criteria. So when we prepare procurement management plan, these 2, 3, 4, 5, they all are part of the procurement management plan. One of the major input in the procurement comes from organization process asset. It is written in the corner called type of contract, which is the base of the procurement, and therefore this type of contract understanding is very, very important. When procurement ends after receiving material or completing agreement, Okay, you have specified what you want, and if that you have got, contract is over, procurement is over. So I don't understand, without receiving the material, how the agreement will be completed.
So normally the agreement in terms and conditions are freezed in the document, but the procurement keeps on going within the project, and maybe 1 year, 2 years, whatever it is, 10 year could be. So is the procurement ongoing process, or it is finished once the agreement is signed and the seller is now assigned?
Okay. In case of project, it is not ongoing process. When the project closes, before that you have to close the procurement. So if project is 5 years, the procurement may continue till 5 years. In fact, all the activities in the project will continue till 5 years, including procurement. But procurement will come to the end before project ends, right? Right?
It means that the timely deliveries are also part of it, right?
Yeah, delivery is part of the procurement. Without delivery, procurement is not over.
That's fine. In the first flowchart it was not there, so that's why I asked.
Agreement signing is not enough. Deliverables need to be delivered. So let us understand there are 3 types of contract type. First is fixed price contract of major category, three major categories: fixed price contract, cost reimbursement contract, and time and material, which we normally say this is a hybrid of cost reimbursement and fixed price because it contains the flavor of both. So it's a blended contract type. So what is a fixed price contract? The firm fixed price contract, we normally saying it's FFP, is something we understand that what the vendor understand what is need to be procured exactly. He put a bid that or give a quote that will deliver things in this much money, and then that price is fixed. After that, if vendor able to deliver this in less price or less cost, he earns more. If he deliver the same thing in more cost, he lose the money, or he lose the his margins. Reduce the margin, maybe he can suffer losses also, but firm fixed price will not going to change. The price will not change until the scope of the project changes. Therefore, we say the complete risk in firm fixed price contracts is on vendor. Customer is safe in this case. So this is normally is used when the scope of the work is well known, well defined, and the vendor is in the position to give a fixed quote. Requirements are not evolving, but they are finalized. Yes, if the requirement changes after providing the price will also change. And it is the greatest risk on seller. Now, if the seller performs very well, his project management practices are good, he will also increase his profitability, also provide an opportunity to increase the profit. Now, there are 2 flavors of this. One is with incentive fee and with economic price adjustment. What is incentive fee? Incentive fee actually used to integrate the objectives of vendor and customer, or we can say align the objectives of vendor and customer or the seller, so seller or buyer. How it is? I am the buyer. I want to get the things done in 6 months. Now I say, if you do this work a week before the date we have decided, I will give you 50% of the cost saving, or I will give you a fixed price. Say you will get $10,000. If you deliver on time, I am still happy. I will give you $2,000. But if you delay it, I'm going to penalize you. If you delay by 1 week, I will impose a $5,000 in penalty, and as you delay every week, I will give you 5,000. So what we are talking about, to achieve something, or there is a specific objective. To achieve that objective, we provide an incentive to achieve that object. So if a certain performance is met, we give this incentive fee. How it helps? My objective is to achieve this within 6 months. If I give an incentive, the vendor's objective will also become to deliver it within 6 months. Or he aspire to do that, inclined to do that. What is economical price adjustment? When the fixed price contracts happen for a long term, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. When this happens, inflation come into picture, because over a period of time, the price will rise, the inflation will goes up and down. So what we normally do in the contract, that as the inflation will go up and down, accordingly the price will get adjusted every year, or every 6 months, or every 2 years. You can decide. The second type of contract is the cost reimbursement. The cost reimbursement contracts are normally taken up when the requirements are not completely frozen or completely known, or requirements are evolving. Because requirements are evolving, we do not know the complete requirements, it will become difficult for the vendor to estimate and give a fixed price. So in that case, we go with the cost reimbursable contract. Especially many like research oriented projects normally take this kind of contract, where we say, okay, you invest your money, we will pay you whatever you invest in that, or whatever we decide that this is what you need to invest, we will pay you. Okay, so cost get reimbursed to the vendor. Now we talk about some kind of fee. So cost reimbursement with a fee. So cost reimburse, seller is getting? Nothing. So for his effort, he gets something out of it. So he get a fee. Get a fee. So fee will be a profit for the seller. Now there is another thing in this also. There is an incentive fee. You can define a specific performance. That okay, this is the IC. If you achieve this, we will give you this kind of money. Or incentive could be non-monetary also. To align the vendor with your objectives. So cost reimbursement plus incentive fee. So you give whatever cost will incur, we will reimburse it, plus we will give you a fee, plus there is an incentive fee. Now another thing is that cost plus fixed fee. In the incentive fee, it could be a formula, or it could be like based on that how much cost is, a percentage of the cost could be incentive fee. But there is second thing is the cost plus fixed fee. In case fee does not change irrespective of how scope changes. The scope may get higher or bigger, but your fee will not change. In the previous case, it is maybe a percentage of the cost. In that case, what will happen? The scope increases, the fee also increases. Another flavor of this cost reimbursement is a cost plus award fee. Basically, in this case, it is similar to cost plus incentive fee. Only thing is that the majority of the payment in this case is an award. It comes as an incentive. So if all the fee you have said, okay, you will get only as an incentive, then it becomes a kind of cost plus award. The only difference between incentive fee and award fee is that award, the majority of the payment or profitably whatever it is related, it is as an incentive. Now, third type of this is a hybrid contract, which is having a flavor of cost reimbursement as well as a fixed price. How? We say unit price or time and material. In the time and material, the price is fixed, but how much it will be utilized, that is not fixed. So normally it is used to for staff augmentation, for contractual work, for taking the services of the human resources. So when you take the, suppose you want some experts, you want some consultant on board. So consultant will tell you that, okay, I will come at this rate. My rate is this. So your rate is fixed. But how much services you will take from consultant, it is not fixed. So it has both the flavor. So it may, your cost, final cost is not known, like in cost reimbursement. Here also final cost is not known. It will be evolved over a period of time. This could be most risky for the, so fixed price contract, more risky with the on the vendor. Vendor can bear all the risk. In the cost reimbursement, it is the seller who bears the risk. In the time and material, also it is the seller who, buyer who owns the risk. Because seller will keep billing the buyer that, okay, you give me the money. This is being spent. This much time is lost. So upper limit is not. Sometimes in the time and material, the upper limit is fixed. We say time and material with cap. Okay, so we will go with the time and material method. You will spend and we will reimburse it, but will not go beyond this cap. If you see at the look at the risk, the buyer risk is highest in the TMN and the lowest in FFP for firm fixed price. Opposite with the seller. Seller's risk is highest in the FFP and the lowest in time and material. With this, you make and buy decision, and when you decide to buy, it's the procurement which will start. So prepare a procurement plan which contains all this. Which type of contract will be used for this? What are the standard documents? How are you going to manage the multiple supplier? What are the constraint assumptions? Your source selection criteria? The reasoning behind the make and buy decision? The list of pre-qualified sellers? Any metrics which need to be measured? Metrics which need to be measured during the procurement? Any direction or specific things which need to be communicated to the seller? Format in which you need or reporting needs, reporting frequency, reporting format, the statement of the work, requirement, the procurement document is another output of that. It is if it is a request of proposal, RFP, RFQ, IFP. So all are sometimes they are different names, but normally request for quotation is mainly focus on price. So you have you have communicated the scope and asking a quote from the customer. So you get only the fixed price. Invitation for bid is similar to the request for quotation, but request for proposal is more descriptive. It is not only having a quote, but also having that how you're going to execute this project. What is your methodology? What are the resources? How are you going to perform this? So not only the quotation, but also to explain how you're going to do it, You have people who are what is the methodology you will use. Based on that only you will give the contract to the person. So request for proposal is the most descriptive. You also state out in the procurement management plan that what is the source selection criteria, that how, on what basis you will select a source or select a vendor. We'll discuss about this a little more in that next coming section. The second is conducting the procurement. Now, once you have prepared a project procurement management plan, you have reasoning for buying it, you have a source selection criteria, you have request for proposal document. You can go and in the conduct procurement means you float the request for proposal, seek the proposals, evaluate them, and then award a contract to someone. So all the inputs, all the outputs of the previous process are input here. Now, one of the important tool which is used here is bidder conference, because it's a process of selecting a seller. So you provided a request for proposal, people are preparing, but reading your document, they might have some queries, they have some questions, they want some clarifications. For such things, normally buyer organize some bidder conference. What is a bidder conference? A pre-bid meeting, right? Pre-bid meeting, the buyer call all the sellers in a meeting and ask them that whatever the questions, clarification you want to ask, you can ask. So all the questions are answered there. A transcript is created with all the question and answer and given to all the people, so that everybody has all the questions which are answered. It's not that only A has asked question Q, then only E will be given Q, otherwise other person has B. So A, B, C, D, whatever the questions being asked, all are compiled together and given to the every seller. So every seller has equal amount of information. That is the bidder conference. You have to put some proposal evaluation technique. We will discuss this little in the next slides. Independent estimate come into picture in this. Independent estimates normally work as a benchmark. So you have asked for 5-6 sellers to provide bid. During this time, you also reach out to some of the agencies and ask for the benchmark estimates, or if they are already published, you procure them so that you can vet the proposals of the vendors and check which one is better, because not necessarily the lowest bidder is best. Okay, this kind of source selection criteria, it could be, this is one example. If you see that a point rating system for proposal evaluation is provided here, and there are 3 aspects of it. The one is some numbers for the presentation, some numbers for the capability, and some number for the pricing, so that you be balanced and you stay focused on your objective instead of pricing. The expert judgment is a person who is expert in doing that. Maybe somebody from the vendor management team. Maybe you also can be very experienced. Anybody in your team could be experienced in doing so. Or you can have a team member who will continue focusing on the contract side. So expert judgment is a person who is expert in this. So in this, you say, okay, 33% for presentation, 33% for capability, 34% for pricing. A little more weight to pricing. So you see, you give to the only that vendor who is not only quoted less but also have a good capability and presentation. So maybe you may give the the contract to a person who is not lowest price because his score higher because of the capability and presentation. Under that also you have defined two sub criteria which will help you to come on this. And ultimately based on this you come out with the point rating, and normally you start evaluating the people who have higher rating. Okay, even if they do not provide complete solution. In that case, you bring them, you call them and negotiate with them. Maybe you also see that the topmost person may not be a right thing because he may not be having the full capability, and capability could be more important. You call the second best person and ask him to match the rate of the first person. You provide everything, but your rates are higher. Can you reduce the rates? So this is called negotiations, post-bid negotiations. And once these negotiations are done, you have finalized a seller, you award a contract and sign a legal agreement, which contains a statement of work, deliverables, performance reporting, roles, responsibility, pricing, payments, inspections, how the inspection will happen, what kind of terms and conditions they have to meet, limitations of liability, change management process, how we are going to resolve the disputes, etc. So the main output of the you have identified a seller. Once you have identified a seller, now it is a time to procure, means deliverables. During this time, you will review the premises or the place where the construction or the preparation or the development is happening. You see that whatever the terms and conditions are, they are complied with. You do reviews, walkthroughs. Right? You see regular reports from the vendor. You see the payments are also happening. So some of the tools which are important here is the one is the change control system. Change is inevitable. So though whatever the firm's things are there, you have finalized all the requirements, but still there is a possibility for change in the requirements, and therefore you must have a system, transparent system of how the change will be handled. A procurement performance review criteria. You have to define the criteria matrix on which the vendor will continue reporting to you, and you can see that if he is performing as per the guidelines or not. You do inspection and audits to see that terms and conditions are complied with. Performance reporting also done. You have a payment system, so you should ensure that the invoices are being generated. The seller is generating the invoice, and you are making timely payments to the invoices. You should have a claim administration also. Means you should also figure it out or write down in the contract itself better, or see that if there is somewhere where buyer and sellers are not reaching to an agreement. So maybe some change can happen where buyer and seller may not reach to an agreement. They become disputes. So claims and disputes are same thing. And then if you have defined already that you will take some arbitrator, you will go into the court, or you will settle it with some of the government agency. There could be a corporate agency. There could be some association where you can go and sort out your issues. But before you close the procurement, before you close the project, you have to close the procurement, and before you close the procurement, you have to close all the claims, all the disputes. So you can decide, you can go to the various association, arbitrators, or court of law if nothing working out to settle the disputes. And there is a record management system where all the records being generated during the procurements are being filed. A source control software could be a good win in there. So you see that you have controlling the procurement. Control procurement is very simple. Basically, you have to continuously get your reporting. You, on a timely basis, you do some audits. If some things are changing, then you do some negotiations. So control of procurement happens. Now it is closure of the procurement. Sorry. So you once the things are done, you finally audit and do the acceptance. If there are claims, etc., negotiate and close them. This is a record management system where you keep records of all the procurement and then formally close the procurement. So procurement audit. Once all the procurement is done, you audit and ensure that whatever you ask for, it is done. Negotiate if there are any settlements to be required, any claims are there, any disputes are there, then negotiate and try to close it. If not possible, then go to arbitrator and try to close it. If not possible, go to the court and do it, but it should be the last resort. In the record management system, you file all the records and then close the procurement. Provide an acceptance and close it. So you file the procurement file is recorded, deliver accepted, and lesson notes are documented. This close. Any question? This is the chapter which give an opportunity to see the project from the customer's point of view. So even if you are not procuring anything, you say this is the view of the customer. Because in your project, customer is the buyer and you are the seller. And this is this chapter this is the only chapter which is meant for the buyer. Otherwise, all other chapters are on the seller. How warranties are monitored and controlled in procurement management for IT projects. So if you're talking about IT projects, the procurement is almost absent. Now in the infrastructure project, yes, in IT also there are infrastructure projects like data center, etc. It goes exactly the way it happens in manufacturing. So you have procured something, it has 1 year warranty kind of things, that is normally passed on to the operation group. Okay, so project you purchase and install it. The project is going on and the warranty and some defects are there, you have to use the warranty clause. And once your project is closed, you pass this warranty all documents to the operation group. So if some problems come, they can execute those warranties. Otherwise, in other IT projects, there is no procurement. Only manpower is procured. And normally, the manpower doesn't come with the warranty. Any subcontract work, yes, it can happen. So some of the part you can outsource to the other vendor, then the whole procurement process come into picture. Subcontracting can happen. QA outsourcing, QC outsourcing is common actually. It's not QA but QC. Testing, your means you said it is testing. Yes, it happens. Then these are the processes which are followed. But most of them I have seen they are still T&M because people are doing. Normally they are not fixed price. But yes, there is a component in your product required. Yeah, that is possible that you get it done from some other person. And this complete procurement process come into picture then. So many big organizations, they have a separate procurement department. And what is the advantage of procurement department? That it provides you the expertise in that. It becomes a functional group in the organization. How risk transfer differ here. The procurement outsourcing is a kind of transfer of risk because you think that you will not be able to do it. Instead of taking risk, you outsource it. It's transfer of risk. For other person, it may not be a risk. Okay, so let's cover up the other next chapter also. This is stakeholder management, and that's very important. So it is a small chapter because it is new in PMBOK 5th edition. It was absent earlier. In fact, it was not absent earlier, but it was part of the communication management. So communication management and some from the yes, it is communication management. From where it is bifurcated and made a separate subject altogether, knowledge area. The idea is to make strategies to engage and handle people around in the project, whomsoever has a takeaway or giving to the project need to be understood, identified, understood, to be engaged, and their takeaways should be taken care of. So first is identify the stakeholders, plan stakeholder management, manage stakeholder engagement, and control it. So again the same thing like in procurement. Identify is initiation, then plan, execute, and control. So first thing in this is the process which is followed immediately after creating a charter. So in initiation there are two processes you might remember. First is creating a charter and next is identifying stakeholder. There are two things, there are only two processes in initiation. And it becomes so important that you must identify all the stakeholders, all the important stakeholders. All the stakeholders either important or not. So we use some of the tools which are expert judgment is anyway required because this requires an experience to handle stakeholders. And then there are some tool, and one of the important tool which is quite popular or which is greatly used is the grid model. So there are two models. One is grid model, another is salience model. The salience model is there, but it is not so popular, it's not so used. Just to understand, you see that mainly there are three categories in which the stakeholders are categorized. The person who is urgent need of the output or something from the project. Something which is who looking for urgently something from the project. The one person who is officially in the project, like the client project manager, who has all the legitimate requirements. And some of the stakeholders which are may not be engaged, may not urgently guide, but they have a lot of power, like vendor management team or the manager of the project manager of the project. They might have a lot of power, and there are some hybrid kind of things like combination of 1 and 3, that is 5. We see normally it is that dangerous because they not only have power but they are looking for something urgently. We must fulfill this immediately. The 6 are dependent because they don't have power. So they need something, but they are dependent because they have a legitimacy and urgency, but because they don't have power, they become dependent. The fourth is the dominant, means is the legitimacy as well as power, your client project manager. So here's the dominance actually. He's not only has a legitimacy but also have a power. 7 is the most balanced kind of stakeholder, and 8 means outside of this ring or non-stakeholder. But this is more popular. It is easy to use and also can be used to analyze all the stakeholders and plan for them. One thing. Look at this. Now, how we do? We have prepare a grid for power and interest. So interest means I have takeaway. Power means I can influence the results. So low interest Give me a moment. Hello? Are you getting me now? So look at this. What we are doing here, we have mapped onto two sides. One is an interest, means it's takeaway. So low takeaway and high takeaway means low interest in the project, high interest in the project. On the other side is the power. The low power and the high power. So the person who has a low power and low interest, that means he's in the project, but is overall interest level and the power is low, therefore is a kind of being there but does not demand much, does not give a threat or kind of or urgency in kind of things. But the interest is high, power is low. These people will be very much interested, but like your team members who have less interest, less power, but interest is high because their complete career depend upon your project. Now, high power but low interest. Who are such people? Like your vendor management team, your organization. So they're not interested in what kind of projects you are doing. What they're mainly interested in, how the procurement is happening, how the the compliance is happening. They have a high power, but interest in the project is low. Now the fourth type is high power and high interest. They depend upon you, they depend upon the project, and also have a high power, like your client project manager. How they get benefit of each transaction? I didn't get the question. Rakesh, can you? Can you give a little elaborate on that? How they will get benefit of each transaction? You mean these transactions? Okay. On each transaction, whatever they are doing in the project. Is this what you mean? Okay. See, the thing is not this here. The matter here is that what kind of a stakeholder is a person in the project and how I should handle it. Let's take an example. There is a functional manager who provide you resources on a specific technical skills. Where you will keep him? Let's take an example. There is a functional manager. You need resources of that skills which is managed by this person. Now you need some resources from him, or his resources working in your project. You need him when you get some technical challenges because he's a technical person. Now tell me where you think we should map in this out of this four. What he has. Manage closely. What power he has. for all decision making on transaction. In that case, he will be a part of the team. I say there is a functional manager who is managing resources or technical skills. The resource is working with you in your project. You consult him on technical matter because he is more expert, right? So in decision making, he will help you in making decisions on technical side. But if you see what maximum he can do, he can refuse. I don't help you. But that is not stopping your project. You can seek out, you can go out in the market and get another expert. Maybe you have to pay a little more. Right? His power, otherwise changing something into the project is very low actually, because he is not part of the project. He's just providing resources. What maximum he can do, he can pull his resource. He can pull his resource. So your project will get impacted. But that is not stopping the project. You can go out in the market and get some other people. Maybe you lose some time, you lose some cost also. So he has power, but he is not a high power which can have greatly impact the project, but he can influence. So, but look at the interest. Is he doing his own project? Normally functional managers not doing their own projects. They depend on the projects being done by the other people. So if his resources are in 4 other projects, his performance is being rated based on how he has supported these 4 projects, right? So he has a stake. If your project does well, his resource does well, then he take the credit of it. And he doesn't, then he also get a discredit of it. Even if he doesn't want to take, you will give him better, like a discredit, definitely you will give him, either you give him credit or not. Right? So he has some interest because he has some takeaway from the project. He also has some power, but not much. Maybe you can keep him something like here, somewhere here. He has some power. He also has some interest, but not very high interest because he's not doing that project as such. But not high power also, but can influence. He's not here in the low, absolutely low, but he has a little. Correct? Now, if you look at the vendor management team of the customer, you are vendor, suppose the customer vendor management team. Are they interested in the project? They hardly take any interest, but there is no takeaway from them in the project. But they can make and break the things. They can close the contract if required. But interest, they hardly will ever ask you that what is happening in the project. You say, okay, keep sending the status report. They will not open it till the time the status report is coming. If some client complaint, then they will say, okay, close it project. We will find out some other vendor. For you, it is very high power. So you will put him in somewhere here. Vendor management team. This is your functional manager. Now you have a project manager, client project manager. Client project manager's future also depend upon this project, and he also influence this project quite high, because on his recommendation his boss can cancel the project. So he will stay here. Client project manager. Right? Manager of your client project manager. He may not be having that much interest, but he has a more power than your manager. So he may be something like here, somewhere here, or somewhere here. Power is high, but interest is, comparing to your manager, direct manager, is low. So your senior manager at your client. Your own senior management. Your own senior management. Will they be interested in a project? Yes. Too much? No. Can they make a lot of change in the project? Yes. They have full authority. They can close the project. Say, client, we are not able to do. They can change you also. Again, maybe they may be still here. Your senior management. So both are actually falling into manage closely. Your critical team members on which the project is running, like Monica. Monica is here. Because power is there, but comparing to the other is low. She can resign. And then you are in trouble. So you have to take care of it. Normal project, normal team members who are not so critical, keep them informed. Their interest is there because their future depend upon it. Right? With this, you know that what kind of a stakeholder is this and what kind of a strategy is going to work. Therefore, we create a stakeholder register. Whomsoever we have identified, we put this person's name here. What exactly he is doing, how he is involved in the project, which class, keep satisfied, manage closely, what is the impact it can do, or what kind of influence he has on the project, what kind of impact is possible from him, and then a strategy to how to engage and mitigate this kind of impact. It is a potential strategy. That is, right now I've just identified people. I know, because I know some understanding of this person, I give a heads up that okay, what could be an initial strategy. We will further go into this and try to finalize a bigger like a strategy or plan for engaging him or handling him. Now, planning the stakeholder. So we have created a potential strategy. We will further go into this and try to form a more firm plan for the engaging the stakeholder. So main idea is to engage the stakeholder for his satisfaction. So we need to chart a clear actionable plan to interact with the stakeholders to support the project so that we can bring him to the project so that he can help meeting the project interest. So what tools and techniques? First is your expertness, your experience in dealing with the people. You know, like Narendra Modi is pretty good in managing the stakeholders. Even if you see today, the people who have not tied up with him before that, he is still going and asking them to come now together. So see the vision. He's seeing the next 5 years down the line. If we keep friendship, we will stay stronger. This is the thing which we need to do. He's identifying those people as a stakeholder. Jayalalitha is one of the stakeholders because they are softer on the BJP side. They can be part of the bigger game. And tomorrow they will be very helpful. You may not be because there will be uncertain, but you have to put a plan together. So what he is doing is trying to see that if some ministers can become, one minister can be from these parties, so they will become a part of the, we can get engaged in the whole system. And therefore become more and more influential. So what we categorize people with their involvement and with their intention. So normally there are 5 stages. We see technically we analyze, so analytical technique we apply, and normally put them in 5 categories. The person is unaware, means whatever you're doing in a project, he is not even concerned about it. Though he is a stakeholder, but he is unaware. Second is resistant. Whatever you're doing, changes or what you are trying to do in the project, he is resistant. He is against it. He is doing something negative to the, so that you should not achieve this. The person is there, aware, but he is neither in favor nor against. Supportive means the stakeholder is there, he is aware, he knows that what is happening, and whatever you are doing, he is supporting it. And the fifth is leading, means is forget about supporting, he is taking charge of the situation and pushing towards the objective of the project, ensuring that the project should succeed. So many times you might have seen the client side, the people drive the things because for them it is very important. Now, situation may arise where there is a neutral person and you want him to be supportive. Situation may arise, the person is resistant and you have to form it, because this is an important stakeholder, you have to plan so that you can move this person from resistant to supportive. At least if not possible, at least bring him neutral, at least reduce the resistance. For this we prepare this kind of chart. We call it stakeholder engagement matrix. We list down all the stakeholders, we put all these 5 categories, and then we say the stakeholder 1 is unaware today. Current, C stands for current, and D stands for desire. Currently is unaware, and our desired situation is that he should be supported, he or she should be supported. So we have to form strategies to bring him from this unaware to supported. Stakeholder 2 is neutral right now, we want to move him from the neutral to supportive. Stakeholder 3 is currently supportive and we want to continue in the supporting role. So maybe there is no action here. Looking at this, we create a stakeholder management plan. We identify all the needs of the stakeholders, desire and current engagement level of the key stakeholders, not key stakeholder, all as such. Scope and impact of the change to the stakeholders, identification, interrelationship and potential overlap, where they are interrelated, but their interdependence, what kind of information they look for, and how that will be distributed, in what format they want, what are their needs, what are their issues, and we need to check and see that how we can resolve their issues, how we can address their needs. What language is familiar, what format they want, what frequency they need information. And based on this stakeholder management plan, we engage the stakeholder and provide him information what he or she is looking for, and manage their expectations and move them from one state to another state, a neutral state to the supportive state. The third is manage stakeholder engagement, and it is 9 o'clock right now, so I would like to stop here now, and we will carry forward from this tomorrow. So tomorrow we will cover this as well as the professional and responsibility chapter, that is more ethical things, and if time permits we will go into some kind of other more general thing, or we'll do more general discussion. We'll see, we'll also look into the way forward, how you will prepare tomorrow after this, complete the quizzes, get your certificate, and plan further for PMP. So I will give you some more. Yes, everything. Procurement have quiz. Stakeholder also have a quiz. and professional responsibility also have a quiz. So there are 3 quizzes. So you have a week to do this. Yeah, it is there. We just enabled it. Okay, so tomorrow is our last session. Complete this. We'll also look into the way forward, how you prepare a template of entire project report shall help. We'll look into the some templates which are useful to you and you can use. We'll look into that. We'll provide you references, and also if time permits, we'll go into some other aspects, especially softer aspect of project management. Can we ask question after the last session is over tomorrow? Yes, you can ask anytime. Want any time limit to ask question. Okay, so thank you very much. See you tomorrow once again here. Good night.